Okay, everybody, here it goes. I'm going to try to say the name of that city in Minnesota where they voted out the police department. Something very important I'm going to say, that I'm going to make a prophecy. Ooh. What I think they're trying to do to this city. Okay. Minneapolis. Is that it? Is that how you say it? Did I say it right? Because I went to the dentist today, cleaned my teeth, and they found some cavities because it's been so long because of the quarantine, the lockdown. So they were closed. So I ended up getting cavities. You know, obviously, you eat a lot of chocolate. You know. What else have you got to do during quarantine? But anyway, apparently, you probably have heard this, but I'm going to take it a little bit further. You have heard, probably, that they've told the citizens of that fair city where George Floyd was killed, where Amy Klobuchar did not put, I think it's about 9 to 16, she refused to prosecute these police officers that were written up, that went over the line, that actually broke the law. The system, you see, you understand, the system, even though it was a Democrat city, the system was actually working. They were written up. They were brought to the district attorney, these reports. They said, we suggest that you look at these and you prosecute these officers. You see, the system is working. You prosecute these officers, things like George Floyd don't happen. Of course, if you haven't heard about Tony Timba, he was killed the same way, but he was white, and there was about 4 or 5 officers standing around. One of them was African American, and he was killed the same way. And we found out about it. CBS News mentioned it. It was just an internet article. And you saw the video. There was a videotape of that too. And that was in 2018. Yeah. Let's see. No, nobody talked about it. Nobody said a word about it. It just disappeared. Because Tony Timba was white. So, if the system, you see, it was Amy Klobuchar who decided not to prosecute, who decided to run for president, that she had the creds to run for president. And nobody is knocking on her door, nobody's calling her up, nobody's even saying her name, that she's the one who lit the spark to the gasoline and set the country ablaze, a country that was on lockdown, that was already losing its mind. It was because of her. And nobody is holding her feet to the fire at all. No, it's Trump's fault. It's the people who voted Trump into office. Oh, the Grand Wizard of the KKK is in the White House. No, it's Amy Klobuchar, the Democrat. It's the Democrat Party. All these cities, all these things is the Democrat Party. So their bright idea is, the mob of criminals who don't want the police to exist, because that's who Soros and these people, these Antifa people, and BLM, we know is a Marxist organization, and met with Obama 160 times in the Oval Office, who, in fact, Joe Genova said today that he's the head of the snake. He's the one. And I told you guys a little while ago that he set up office, and I said, I'm not going to leave Washington, and I'm going to basically control all these groups all over America, funnel money to them to bring Trump down, to make sure he doesn't get elected again. Joe DeGenova, U.S. District Attorney for Washington, D.C., he once was, said that he's the head of the snake. And I told you that the other day. He's the head of the snake. He's behind this. And if you heard the funeral which should have been honoring, you know, Mr. Lewis, Congressman Lewis, civil rights leader. It was a campaign speech. It was full of hate. Everything has to be about Obama. Everything revolves around Obama. It's got to be his way. He's behind all this. Now, so the city councils voted in Minneapolis to get rid of the police department, which is ridiculous, which is a childish thing to do. And these groups hired criminals that even got let out of office sooner than they should have. And I believe Obama tops the list. I forget the number, but it's in the thousands that he pardoned or commuted the sentence. So these people, or just flat out crazy people, who want the right to abuse and bully people, who just want to do, if they want to tear something down, they want to tear it down. If they want to make you not say a certain word, they'll say it. They'll say, oh no, you can't say that's politically incorrect. They will. Try this trick and spin it. Yeah. They're criminals. And criminals don't want the police department, and they don't want the prisons, right? But we have a problem. Certain crimes, there are things like crimes. There's assault, there's bullying, that's a crime. Rape is a crime. People who are pedophiles, that's a crime. Incest, that's a crime. Serial killing, that's a crime. Drunk driving, that's a crime. Speeding, that's a crime. Why? Because people can get killed. Robbing people, that's a crime. These people don't want to go to jail. They want to do whatever they want to do and not go to jail and not be held responsible for their actions. That's the mind of a child. Child who throws tantrums, who wants to get away with, spoiled brats. That's a spoiled brat. But it's worse, because a spoiled brat, if you can discipline them when they're a child, when they get to be an adult and they're committing crimes, that's when the law has to come in. Getting rid of the police and prisons is the crazy, and then making law-abiding citizens like the McCloskeys, who are defending themselves when 500 people broke down the gate and threatened to kill them and their dog. Making them the criminals. That society turned on its head, and all of us should be upset about it. All of us should demand that we keep our police. Instead of giving into this. No, we certainly see a criminal in this country, if they are convicted of a crime, and let's say racism did play a part, the state can only prosecute you once for that crime. Once. They can never once they've prosecuted you, and if you are found innocent, or you go to jail and spend your time and get out, they can never prosecute you again. But a criminal, after they're prosecuted and sent to jail, can appeal that forever. There's no limit of times that criminal can appeal it. So if there's something wrong, if there's a mistrial, if it's racism, if there's new evidence, the government has given the people, that's basically giving the people, not the government. See, it makes the people stronger than the government. The people, should a mistake have happened, you can appeal as many times as possible. But the state only has one shot. So that in a system that you'd say is racist or really broken, that doesn't happen. That's very, very good. But they've told the people of the fair city of Minneapolis having trouble saying that today. That if someone comes to rob you, give them everything you have. Don't resist, because there's no police. And they said they added this on. In fact, not only give them everything you have, but when you go out, bring more money and more jewelry. Bring as much as you can so you can give them even more. What does this feed? This feeds crime. This feeds crime. You are going to make criminals out of people who aren't criminals. Oh, really? They're going to have even more stuff on them that I can take. And I thought to myself, not only will this breed more criminals, and this is absolute insanity, but here's a foreshadowing of Chaz. People will lose their homes completely because they're going to leave the city. You can't live in that city. If their job is still there, they have to leave the job. They can't go back to that city. They got to get out of there. And they have to leave everything they have unless they can drive it out as much as they possibly can. But they have to leave their home and property and not sell it. You have to get out of that city because people will break into your house. People will steal your belongings. People could kill you, rape your children, pedophiles. Any crime imaginable can happen because they say there's no police, so you have to let them have it. So they're allowing the most heinous crimes to happen because there's no police. Oh, because they deserved it? Because that one officer killed George Floyd. You look at the stats, there's usually twice as much or 3 times as much white people and even Hispanics than black people killed. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm saying maybe we should all get together and say, we have to get rid of the bad cops, and we have to do it hand in hand because all of us are hurting. It's not just one community, all the communities. But we know in this instance, and I'm going to say in a great many other instances, our fine leaders like Amy Klobuchar are responsible for it because these are all Democrat-run cities. It's their fault. And look at Chicago. Has the strongest gun laws in the country. And during the month of July, 107 people were killed. Shot. Black on black crime, yes. So, according to Black Lives Matter, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Which is one of the saddest things I've ever heard. There's a lot of sad things, and that's one of them. So you're going to create a Chaz. What they're trying to do is, they're driving everyone from the city. And that's going to be the new Chaz. They're going to move into your homes. They're going to move into the buildings. They've stolen. They can go out and steal whatever they want. They've stolen everything they can. Once you know that a crime, any crime, even murder, and rape, and incest, pedophilia, all that can happen. You're going to leave that city. And you're going to leave it flat because you have to. And you're going to move in with a friend or family. And like hermit crabs, these Antifa and BLM will move in and create the new Chaz. That's what it's going to be. And the Democrat Party, I'm sure, is going to fund this city. We're going to have cities all over the country. Any city that gets rid of their police, this is what's going to happen to it. It could happen to my city. This is a very blue state. Our governor has us on extreme lockdown. We have the highest unemployment in the country. They've just doubled the gasoline tax and given it to a bureaucracy and taken it away from the legislative branch to make laws and to raise the taxes. you put it into a bureaucracy, they are going to keep raising it and raising and raising the taxes until nobody can even live in this state anymore. So people are going to leave. They're going to get killed. That's one of the things that's going to happen, and they're going to leave. I say, before this happens, there is something that you can do, and do it right now. I'd say a class action suit. Everyone in that city, or any city in this country that is going to defund the police, go and sue the city, the state, sue all of them, everyone who's responsible. The state is letting it happen. The city is letting it happen. Sue all of them and make it a class action suit. Make everyone in the city sign it onto this lawsuit. This is what you can do. This is how Trump got rid of segregation in Palm Beach forever, when he bought Mar-a-Lago and wanted Jews and blacks and Hispanics and Muslims and homosexuals to come and own parts of Mar-a-Lago or just be a guest. You couldn't do it, not even as a guest. So he sued the city instead of, oh yeah, vote for me and I'll give me money and I'll get elected and I'll do it. Oh gee, I had my time. I had 6 years. I couldn't do it. Everybody was blocking me. You got to give me more money and I'll do it in my next 6 years. That's a politician. Trump just said, screw it. I'm suing the city for $75 million. You sue. Where they have the choice of losing everything or bringing the police department back, and order to this city, an order to this country. Take them to court because they're threatening to take away your home, your livelihood, your life, your children, not just your belongings. You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? These are your rights. Your civil rights have been infringed upon. You can sue them on every single one of them. Anyone that has prevented you during even the past, what's been going on, you can sue because they violated your civil rights. And I say it should be a class action suit. As many people signing on to it as possible. Because it's one voice. It's many, e pluribus unum. Out of many, one. And that's how we reclaim America. You're not helpless. You're not. You know your neighbors, talk to your neighbors. Have your neighbors talk to their neighbors. Talk to their friends. Talk to their family. Everybody do it. And don't you think lawyers would, the money they could make on the fame. Sometimes lawyers will take a case, many times, just because it will make them famous. Not that they'll even get a dime out of it. This is incredible. I'm saying to the people of America, anyone hearing my voice, and I know very few do, that's your answer. Do it. And stay strong, because we need you in this fight. We need every single one of us. And then we will rejoice together. Then we will be happy together. But we cannot be happy if we lose any of you. So stay strong, stay with us. There's hope at the end of the battle. Yes, this is World War. You can say it's like World War II. And then when it was won, and you freed everyone out of those concentration camps, and you freed the world from the Japanese Imperial Empire and the Nazi regime, you freed the world. Oh, is it going to feel good? I told you, I used to work for attorneys, paralegal. I'm telling you, you could do this. Do it. Good night, everyone, and I want to hear back from you.